Look what finally just arrived. This was due here 4 days ago, but of course USPS is way behind. So finally arrived today on my son's 7th birthday. It almost feels like mine after getting this. I'm very excited. I've got the SP24 coil for my Nocta Macro Simplex, and I got two snake skins for the wires on the coils. I'm going to put one on the SP24, one on the stock coil. I purchased this through Andy O'Neill at We Dig Metal Detectors, and look at this cool stuff he gets. So sticker, everybody loves stickers, I know I do. And then we have two keychains and a little piece of pirate treasure. Of course it's a fake one, but it's awesome, cool. Maybe I'll take that out with me at digs and put it in a hole somewhere that someone could find and get all excited for a joke or something. But it's cool, I like it. Anyhow, I'm going to put the snake skins on this coil, and I'm gonna basically record it so you can see how it is. Put this thing on the machine, and at some point I'm going to be running it and testing it, and I cannot wait to see what it can do, and we'll keep you all posted. Alright, so I decided to put the green snake skin on the SP24. So it seems that it works kind of like a Chinese finger trap, so I would assume we're gonna kind of bunch that together to get it over the end of the coil wire. This is probably going to be the most difficult part, is getting it over the fitting here. So what I'm doing is basically bunching it up towards the fitting and then holding on to it and letting it go down the wire. And it actually goes on a lot easier than I anticipated. Pretty excited about this. Can't wait to see what this coil can do. I have a couple of areas that, really trashy areas that I've pulled relics out of with the stock coil. And, it's been, of course, very noisy and a little difficult. This should be able to hopefully separate some of that. So now I have it on, so I'm just going to run my hands down here a little bit and stretch it all the way out to the end of the coil wire. It fits nice and snug on the wire. What I'm doing here is taking off the Velcro strap, and I'm going to put this over the entire coil wire. So there it is. We're all the way down the end of the coil wire, all the way to the top. I probably could have stretched it out a little bit more and had it come over this, but that's okay. All I want is to have it on there and have it on the wire. Then I'll put the Velcro strap back over it where I'm going to connect it to the shaft of the detector. That's basically it. So there it is, all set up. It does come with new hardware, which is pretty cool, that you don't have to reuse your old hardware. It's always nice to have a spare of these. So now that I have the SP24 and hardware for this, then I have the stock coil for the hardware for that. And I'm going to be putting the red snakeskin on the stock coil, so pretty cool. Can't wait to see how this thing works, and keep you posted. Thank you very much for watching the video on installing the snakeskin, which is very simple and easy. Probably anyone could figure it out, but figured I'd do it. Very excited about this stuff. Thank you very much. And just to show you, a couple other things here. So I opted to just reuse the original hardware that came with the stock coil, and I'll just keep all this stuff as spare when that one breaks eventually, because they almost always do, right? So hopefully it doesn't, but I'll just keep it as a spare. I'm going to take this time to clean all that grass seed and stuff off of this stock coil. You know, I don't, I mean, I clean the detector once in a while, but not all the time. But I'm going to clean all that stuff real good, take off the coil cover, make sure everything's clean and good under there, which I do that once in a while too, but probably not as often as I should. And just want to point out that when you wrap the coil wire around, always wrap it around the front of your shaft. If you put it on the back of it, it's going to create a lot of stress. So always wrap it around the front of your shaft first, and then the connector has this little tab on it. You want to make sure that that tab lines up with that little cutout there. And when you install the connector, push it in and start twisting the nut. And as you twist the nut, you're going to want to make sure that that gets pushed in. You see how that moved a little bit? I don't know if you saw it or not, but as you push it in, apply more pressure to the fitting itself, to the connector, and make sure it's fully seated in. Just driving this nut in alone is not going to seat this properly. You need to start the nut, push the connector, twist the nut, push the connector, make sure it's fully seated. Okay, so I just wanted to show that, let everyone be aware that that's how it should be properly installed, and that will definitely contribute to a lot of coil issues where people think they have something wrong with their coil or something wrong with their machine, but it's simply not connected all the way. I mean, this is the waterproof part of the waterproof fitting when you put it in there, so it needs to have a tight seal. So if you just screw it in, it's probably not going to make a tight seal. Screw it in, push it in, then you'll be all set. So now that we have the SP24 coil on here, I want to show you how to do a factory reset on these machines. I don't know if it's really necessary. Most companies do recommend it, so I would probably recommend it with this one anyhow. But basically, we're going to turn on the power button. As soon as you see Simplex on there, you're going to hold both of these bottom buttons, the pinpoint and the cog button. So you turn it on, see Simplex come up, push and hold these two buttons. You hear that beep, and it's done a factory reset on it now. So you can see I never use field mode, very rarely. So now it's set up in field right away. Half the sensitivity. Park 1, half the sensitivity. Park 2. So it's set up from factory the way it would be set up. So this is normally how I run my machine, is Park 1, 1 notch from full sensitivity. Full, sometimes a little too chattery, you could hear instantly right now. Of course, I'm right next to my house, little EMI, got my phone in my hand, but and then iron audio is all the way up, which I usually have it on 1 notch. So of course I'm going to have to repair my headphones and stuff, which is fine, but that's how you do a factory reset on these to all the factory settings, and which is typically always recommended with changing your coil. Whether you take it apart, change your coil, whatever it happens to be. So I can see it's definitely working well. Seems like it's working how it should. It's very light swinging, very nice, as if this machine wasn't light enough, but just the front of my yard. I have obviously detected my yard thousands of times and have found tons of stuff here. There's a lot of square nails right in this area that I'm in right now, but right about here or so, right in front of my mulch bed, I found a barber quarter. Was the first silver quarter I ever found. Probably a square nail. This seems to be functioning properly, working well. I didn't set anything up out here. This is just my normal ground that's here. So, sweet. That's it. Thank you very much for watching. Appreciate it. One last thing, see if I could do this here. Might be tough holding the camera, but if you do decide to do a factory reset at any time, whether switching a coil or you want to do it once in a while or whatever, and you need to repair the headphones, what you're going to do is you're going to hold this green button and turn your headphones on. Turn the detector on, and you're going to, once the detector turns on, you're going to push the plus and minus buttons at the same time. Once you hear that beep, you see this icon come up, you're now back into using your wireless headphones. You're all set. Now it'll keep memory until you decide to do a factory reset, or sometimes it does happen that the headphones do disconnect from the Simplex, typically because of EMI. Sometimes maybe another machine nearby that interrupts the signal, or your cell phone. So that's why it's kind of important to, if you run into issues like that constantly, don't carry your cell phone with you. Put it in airplane mode maybe. And keep your distance from other detectors while you're using it. That way it doesn't happen. If it does, it's a very simple process to reconnect. Happens once in a while to me, and it connects no problem every single time. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like it, please subscribe, and we'll hope to see you in the next video. Have a video coming out soon of one of my most recent hunts where I did pretty good, found some good stuff, and a couple of silver coins on my first silver spill. Thanks for watching.